Well, here we are again. New year, new challenges. This time, the same feller on gatewaytoairguns.org that gave me the 760D Pumpmaster that his buddy had pulled out of a trash can while he was out junking, and gave it to him. And he gave it to me. Well, he also, since I wanted a Turkish walnut stock for my Hatsan Striker 1000X22, which is a spray stained beechwood stock at the moment, he gave me another gift. This Hatsan Model 95 stock. I can't remember, his was a 22 or a 25, but they come in both, and it's pretty close to the Striker action, except for this one is slanted up right here. The 1000X is all the way back here and slanted that way. You got to chop about 2.5 to 2 3/4 inches out of the forks here, and these holes here on the 95 here are straight in, and have these threaded metal spacers in there. Cross section looks like that fit in these holes. You have to, they're pressed in, but not real hard. Got slots in them where you can turn them with a screwdriver, which you can't. You have to push them out, like say this side through that side with a long skinny screwdriver like these. Once again, handiest thing in your kit. So anyway, I tried using mineral spirits to just, well, I'll just wipe the finish off. It'll be real nice and glassy, smooth. Won't have to bust my hoof, you know. Wrong. You can thin most stains with mineral spirits, so you can spray them, put them in an airbrush, and whatever. But once it's cured and hardened and all that, you ain't getting it off with mineral spirits. I even tried lacquer thinner, and all it did right there was sort of dull the finish and took a little bit off on those blue paper towels. You can see it looked like ruddy dirt that you usually get out of the stock from rubbing oil and have to clean it. Looked just like that. So that didn't work. And I started using 400 grit sandpaper and sanding. I mean, it's nice and smooth. Not as smooth as it's gonna be, but anyway. I found a piece of coarser sandpaper in there. I don't know what it is offhand, 100 maybe, 100 grit. And I started going over this and sanding down along here, trying to get, well, if you can see that, just some scratches and little dings and gashes. There's another one right there. And these odd spots here, and there was one right there where that little gash is right there. I thought somebody put wood putty in there, and I'm sanding a little more and a little more and a little more, trying to get the scratches out and even it out. And I start seeing this, and I'm doing the WTF question mark once again, thinking, oh great. So I start talking to the guys on gatewaytoairguns.org. They talk a lot about all kind of things to do with these newer air rifles, but they're also really big on the old ones. I mean, all the way back to the Garandoni that Lewis and Clark carried. Okay, mostly Victorian era on up. You wouldn't believe some of the air guns these guys got. Just wow. So I after all the stuff I've done with guns over the 51 years, I started LC air rifles, Leonard Kogar LC. I made it look like I'll show you. I made it look like something you did with the old wood burning kits when we were little kids, I'll show you that right here. Not bad, huh? It's a sample picture of some elm a fella sent me. That I forget whether it was Facebook or a forum or something, but anyhow, we were talking back and forth about what kind of wood the old Crossman 160, 167, 180, 187, 140, etc. used in the mid 50s through say early 60s, and we finally deduced that it was elm, which is a bit lighter colored than this. It's another blonde wood. This one, as you can see there, is like tan with a bit of, I mean, the blonde wood from the 50s with a little bit of brown in it, like tan. That's about as near as I can tell you. It's looks like it's got some open grain to it, depending on the angle of the cut that they made the stock blank out of and all that, you know. Get different grain effects, but anyway, yeah, speaking of grain effects, look at that buttstock. Let's see if I can get some light out. Windows on there. Southern exposure, so here. And then, let me put it close up this way. Get a look at that grain. It's nice grain for a light colored walnut. Okay. Just need this gut. Let's see. Okay, right here, you can see there's two layers of different colors, slightly different colors of stain there, darker color on top. And just having the devil of a time sanding through all that stuff to get down to what you can see here. And here is the real bare wood walnut. And now I'm going to show you a picture of what this fellow was showing and explaining to me on GTA, what this 95 stocks look like when they're all stripped and sanded and smoothed out and ready to restain or whatever you're going to do. I'll show you that right here. Looks a lot like this blondish tan color, the whole thing. Now, I'll tell you something else. The checkering there and the checkering right there is more like the crosshatch diamond patterns that we're familiar with with sporters like the Model 70s and all that back into the 30s, late 30s, 40s and all that, 50s. Checkering was a big thing. It gave you a nice grip, and it was functional, but it looked cool. It gave a higher priced look to your rifle. So I'm going to get some clean strip. It's a gel stripper the guys are using, like you use on painted furniture and stuff. Well, they have to use that on here to get that stuff off, and then you got to wash it, scrub it with water. Just like when you're bluing, you got to rinse everything, right? And then you sand it smooth and maybe get in here with green Scotch-Brite pad. I got to get some more of those to keep the diamond crosshatch pattern here and here rough enough to where it gives you a good grip, but smooth under surfaces. I can't think of another way to put it. And there's a white pad, and they got white pads and black pads at Midway USA. I forget. Pumpmaster. They're out of the white ones. They got it back ordered, so I gotta wait. Might look somewhere else, see if I can find them. And get. It's got the rubber is molded like a black pad there, so I'm gonna get a white one to go between here and the wood. So it looks like it's got a white and black cap behind the buttstock pad, which is a pretty traditional Remington style butt pad. And in here, that does look like it'll fit the striker, the edge and striker barreled actions, which are all the same. The 1000S, 1000X, and Edge are all the same barreled action. And yes, it would be easier just to buy the 1000X stock. It's got the nice red and white cap on the stock pad back there. Even the pads are reddish color. Really nice, I think. And I got some medium brown Danish oil I'm going to use on the striker stock, and that'll be another set of videos. Right now, I'm going to show you how to. You got to cut the forks down here and drill these holes over about. They go over about right there for the 1000X, and they're angled up like that. So that's going to be a little tricky to find something to hold the drill at just the right angle to, match that. They got all the little things you clamp on. You see on TV, like from Ronco and everything. I wish I had one of them dang Ronco drill benders right now. But that's the introduction anyway. And I'll go to an overdubbed slideshow to show you step by step how I'm going to go about all this as time goes on. So we'll just get to that now. Okay, here's a reveal of a box that came in the mail. This is where the fella on GTA sent me the 95 stock. And it's all the bubble wrap and bubble pillows and all that stuff wrapped around it. Not bad. Got nice grain structure, but it's dinged and scratched and things like that for a rifle that's been through the usual mill of hunting, planking, and target, whatever. These next couple shots here, I'm trying to get pictures of it. It was pretty late at night. It's for winter, It's only dinner time, but it's pitch black outside. Better pictures here. Nice grain structure and everything though. Gonna look good when I get it cut down and refitted for the striker action. Otherwise, the trigger and the slots up there, the forks for where you pull the barrel and everything, are good. I just got to drill those forward holes behind where the 95s are and at an upward angle, and cut the forks down about 2 3/4 inches, something like that. Right there, you can see I've got them set at the same length where the wood stops on the buttstock, so you can see how much needs to be cut off and notched out and everything. Another shot here. So as you can kind of see that they're similar but different enough to where it needs work. And some measurements of the holes. I'll leave that up to you to read. And how deep it is. I have a little black mark from a Sharpie on the end of the screwdriver to measure the depth. I couldn't find my depth gauge. And here's where I'm sanding the forks. Sanded down through 2 colors of stain before I finally got to the wood. Besides little scratches and nicks and the usual stuff. That's where you can see the spray stain chipping off the beechwood stock on the Striker 1000X here. That's getting refinished too. Danish oil. I stopped sanding on. I'm waiting for. I got the stripper and the brass brushes. I'm just waiting for the tools to come in. I need those long pin punches. Look at that grain on that. That's gonna look gorgeous when I get it done. I like to feel the checkering on the 95 too. It's more pronounced. But that's real Turkish walnut there, folks. And here is the two scope stop kits I asked Hatsan to send me after I explained one of the screws broke on mine and what my idea was to fix it. So they sent me these free of charge. Thank you, Hatsan. That was great. And here's some see-through mounts I had on there where I was kind of eyeballing things. You can see the broken screw on the back there. And the bluing chemicals I like, and then True Oil I like to cover the stains with, or better was just hit it with a few coats of True Oil. You see how low that scope is there. That hammer's 3 to 9 by 32 AO with Simmons mounts. The Simmons mounts are just maybe about a 1/16 of an inch too low. And here we are with the scope removed. You can see the broken screw, and I've got it just the ring set up pretty close to use the two Hatsan scope stops. And here's the scope stops and the mount caps. And the Umarex cleaning kit screwdriver handle thing there. And here's what I used to get the broken piece of screw out. That screwdriver bit there, and using that big hex key for a little tap hammer, I got that broken piece of screw out of there and used the needle nose once I got it up out of there far enough to turn it to finish taking it out. And boom, fixed it without having to take the gun apart. Now I have 4 viable screw holes. I'm going to use all 4 of them scope stop screws. And here's the normal one, goes in front. Drop that in and get it pretty close to tight. Now see, this one is a bit too long, and I didn't think to loosen the scope saddles and just wiggle them back and forth to see if I get that to drop down in there. With the little lip on the front of the one scope stop, I'd use the Dremel to grind down both ends even after I moved them to get it to fit. You can see I ground a little bit off the face of the hump end there. And here's the other end. I had to grind a 64th of an inch maybe. Not very much. It needs to be smoothed down and blued and everything, but so you can see there, the scope stop holes aren't lining up. And here, once I loosened the 2 scope saddles and moved them around a little bit, got them to drop into place, tighten everything down, and now it's perfect. Using all 4 scope stops, that thing is not going to move anymore. And you can use the cheaper rings instead of all these expensive 4 and 5 bolt mounting rails and everything. It'll also make the scope higher. This way, it's real. The parallax is real low. It's, in other words, the eye center line is closer, as close as you can get to the bore center line. There's a couple of views here of what it looks like all said and done. I need to smooth the metal and re-blue it and find my Loctite and everything, but other than that, it's together. That's good. That should solve the scope lock problems on this rifle. Okay, well, how's that for a simple, elegant solution? So that's I need to find my Loctite to put on the screws, and it's ground on the edges here on both ends of that back stop there, so I can glue it and smooth the metal down, glue it up and everything so it won't rust and it'll look proper. But other than that, that should stop these scopes from walking backwards on this Striker 1000X. I want to restain this stock. I like the Monte Carlo stock better. I like the color Turkish walnut, but I like the design of this stock. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to get the 1000X 25 cal Vortex barreled action to put in the modified 95 stock and have a real nice 25 cal out of that one for when I know I'm hunting chucks and raccoons or, you know, stuff that size. So I was kind of wanting to do something like that anyway. Well, I've done it with guitars and made what I used to call a bastardized Frankenstein out of a Palmer Strat. But that's another story. I'd like to get my guitars out and show you guys some of that stuff one of these days. I've read detailed books on what Jimi Hendrix did to his guitars, filing the frets and everything, so I did all of that. And wild stuff. And with doing that with cars and everything as well, it carried over into the rifles, and here we are. So, that's it for this week. Good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll see you again. So come on back next time.